athlete and an aspiring fitness speaker. He knows a lot of arcane knowledge regarding that particular area in life. Steve is speaking from his advanced speech book, Professional Speaker Series. Please help me welcome Martin Spencer. Thank you. Yes, sir. Where's our Sergeant at Arms?
I think he's slacking on the job.
No, he's fine. He'll do a great job. Steven's a good instructor.
What is the root cause of all disease? Are you aware that your body has a self-healing mechanism? Madam President, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Why should you listen to me today? I'm not a doctor. And I'm happy that Dr. Cam and his wife is not here today. I was dreading that. But I will address him in his profession, for his profession. I am, like I said, I am an exercise physiologist. I have a master's degree in exercise physiology and nutrition. I used to be ranked in the top 10 athlete in the country when I ran track and field at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. I was an assistant track coach at the University of Nevada after I graduated. I'm a health fanatic. I'm a world-class athlete, as a master's athlete. So I think that qualifies me to talk about what your doctor will be telling you. And most of all, I have extreme common sense. It doesn't take a doctor to tell you what to do with your body. I'm not a doctor, like I said, but I'm going to tell you what your doctor will be telling you. We are in a disease care industry, not a healthcare industry. When you go to the doctor, do you know what he does? He takes 5 minutes nowadays. The new dispensation is 5 minutes or less for a doctor to see you. It's not the usual. You know, years ago, I remember from the islands, when I was born, my mom said the doctor came to the house. The doctors visit you at home. They spend the whole day with you. When I was in Atlanta, and I went for my yearly physical, well, I get physicals twice a year because at my age, and I run sprints, I have to do physicals twice a year to keep the old heart ticking well, make sure I'm okay. I went to my doctor, and as soon as I walked in, his prescription pad was in his hand. He wanted to change my medication without even talking to me. But I always asked why. You know, as a kid, I was always inquisitive, and I want to know why. Why, Dr. Williams? Why? Why am I hypertensive? I'm an athlete. Well, I didn't eat as well when I was younger. But why am I hypertensive? He couldn't explain to me. Let me give you another statistic of why I can tell you what your doctor will tell you. In 2008, for the last 30 years, I invested in real estate. And I was very extremely successful. I don't mean to brag about it, but you know, I made no less than $500,000 a year for the last 10 years. But in 2007, 2008, when the market bottomed out, it just wiped everybody out, including me. I lost 29 homes in Atlanta and $15 million. Not to tell you, I won't tell you to impress you of who I was and what I was, but talking about it is therapy for me. I'm into extreme stress. My wife had to go back to work. She never worked while we were married. Can you imagine what that does to somebody who's an entrepreneur? My blood pressure went sky high. My sugar level went sky high. And I was still exercising, but I was eating like crap. I wasn't thinking of myself, eating Coke, sodas, ice cream, and pound cake and ice cream at night. That was my comfort food. And I knew better, but when you're under stress, things happen. And you don't realize what you're doing. So the point I'm making is, I had to check. When I left Atlanta and I moved to Florida, I had to pull myself up. My dad saw me, my dad's 85, he said, son, you don't look good. I said, I don't feel good. So he went to the doctor, did my blood profile, and I realized I had to make a change. Not the doctor, he didn't, all the doctor did was prescriptions, increase this, increase that. So I went back to the drawing board, went back to what I know, my innate self, and I changed my diet completely. Within 30 days, I don't know if you know what AC1 level is. The average is 6 to 7. I was 14, and I'm an athlete. I was still the same weight. But I was stressed. Stress causes everything. So I changed course, and in 30 days, my A1C level went to 8. Just because I changed the way I ate. And I say that to impress upon you. You have to change the way you eat. We all get into habits and ruts. I started to meditate, get into meditation. My blood pressure is normal today. My sugar level is not quite there, but it's a work in progress. It doesn't come down in 2 or 3 years. It's a work in progress. But it's under control because I don't eat crap. Excuse my French. The point I'm making is, people, you have to take control of your life. Don't wait till your doctor to tell you what to do. Doctors are good. Doctors are there to heal, not to solve a problem. They're there to help you to the next level. But you gotta remember, medicine is a business. Medicine is a business. I've got 2 doctors in my family, and I call them, talk about it, say, yeah, we see 100 patients a day. We don't have time to spend time with you 20 minutes to have a proper diagnosis. If you have a problem, what do? Send you for a barrage of tests. And that's how they diagnose. They don't diagnose anymore. They don't have the time. So the point I keep making is, you have to take care of yourself, people. You've got to do that. Don't rely on a doctor. Like I said, I'm not bashing doctors. But if I had stayed on the course that I was probably be dead today. And it's no joke. If I had stayed on the course, because I'm stressed out. And we all go through stress, but it's how you manage it. You have to manage stress. Okay? If I told you that you can heal yourself, would you say that's impossible? How you think affects how you feel and how you are in your life. Let me give you 2 examples. In 1954, before 1954, nobody thought they could break the 4-minute mile. Nobody thought it was impossible. Your heart couldn't take this. Roger Bannister, a medical student at Essex Lynn in 1954, he challenged that hypothesis. And he ran 3:56. You know, a month after he ran that race, there was a plethora of people running under 4 minutes. And today, it's like high school kids in junior high school running under 4 minutes. So you tell me, it's a mindset. It's a mindset. There's another example. There was a gentleman who was medically ill. I think he had stage 3 cancer. The doctor came to him and said, there's nothing else I can do for you but give you this experimental medicine. He said, okay, I have nothing to lose, doc. Let's go for it. He has stage 4 cancer. I said, look. He said, I'm going to give you this experimental medicine, and it's going to work. I proved it on rats and pigs, animals, it's going to work. He said, doctor, let's go for it. He gave it to him in 14 days. He ran his blood profile, no more cancer. Mindset, right? But listen to this. About a week later, that same medical process, the press got a hold of it, and they realized, they said it was a phony. The gentleman saw the news in his hospital room. You know, he died the next day. Why? His mindset. He immediately associated what the doctor gave. It was a placebo. It was just a water pill he gave him. But through the mindset, he healed himself. That's a true story. He healed himself. The next day he died because he realized that it was a placebo. And he thought the doctor hoodwinked him because he lost everything. He just died of, I don't know I forget what the reason was, but he just gave up on life. But the point is the mindset again. If you change your mindset about anything, you can do it. That means go to your doctor, but take control of your life. Take control of your life. You can do it. I've done it. And I'm living testament to it. And I don't say so, I said to impress you what I can do, what I can't. Any one of us can actually do it. The healthcare factor, the healthcare industry, sorry, is a $2.8 trillion industry. And it's a business model. It's a business model that works. It's a business model that works. You know, it's the fastest growing segment of the economy. Besides anything, it's the fastest growing segment of the USA. $2.8 trillion. Just figure that, 2.8 trillion. When you go to your doctor, he sends you for tests. The whole world is upside down. So you've got to take care of yourself. I keep repeating that, so before I leave this podium tonight, you're going to think about this, and you're going to think, I've got to do for myself what a doctor can't do. The third, I'm just going to give you some stats. The third leading cause of death. Can anybody tell me what the third leading cause of death is? The first is heart disease, second is cancer.
Medical errors.
Medical errors, right on time. That's exactly right. I researched it over and over again today, and it's medical errors. Not just doctors, pharmacists prescribing the wrong medicine, getting bad shots. I mean, it is amazing, people. Amazing. Almost 200,000 people a year die from medical errors. Not because the doctor did so. You've got to be responsible. I went to my doctor. I just got my blood profile work done a month ago. I had the test done, and I went to see the doctor. And my cholesterol level was 20 points higher than last year. 20 points. I was usually like 180. I was 181. I was 200. You know what he did? He took his pad out. Lipitor, baby. Lipitor, baby. He said, I said, can I get the generic? Because it's cheaper. Yes, $6. Okay. Lipitor. I took the prescription. I went outside and I tore it up. Because the research that I've done, cholesterol is not that big a deal these days, people. It is not that big a deal. I don't care. You can talk to any medical person. They say, oh, if your cholesterol is high. If you're 500, yeah, you're going to have an issue. But if you're 220 like me, you're going to give me a Lipitor? You know why? Because the pharmaceutical industry pays him to give me the Lipitor. It's a game. I'm so happy Dr. Khan's not here today. Okay? But if he was here, I would tell him it's not against him. I respect him for the profession that he has. But these are facts, people. These are facts. This is not hyperbole or just jargon. No, these are facts, cold hard facts. So I want you to think about what I say. I thought about this topic long and hard, whether I should do it or not. But I said, you know what? I have to share my vision. I have to share my knowledge. The other cause of illness, 50% of all other illnesses is caused by sick homes. Your houses, people, your houses. Okay? What I do, my wife and I do, we open, on a nice day, or in the morning, or early evening, we open every door and every window, so you have crossbreeds. You breathe in the carbon dioxide every day. It doesn't get out. It's toxic. If you have plants, we have certain plants. There's a plant called a mother-in-law plant. It's a long, stringy plant. I had that in my bedroom because it absorbs more carbon dioxide than any other plant in history. We have 10 plants at home, spread all over. They absorb, and you change your air filters every 30 days. These are things that you can do. Your doctor he won't tell you that. The doctor doesn't know. Most doctors don't even know because they are so focused. They stay in their lane. You've got to take responsibility. When I tell people I am 65 years old, I was born 11/11/51. And that's no joke. I'm not telling you to impress you. But I mean, who knows? I don't know when my life is going to end. But as long as I'm here, I'm going to educate people. I'm going to talk about it. I make no excuses for it. None at all. The other set of toxins that you can find in your food. You have toxins from GMOs, MSG in Chinese food. If you ever order Chinese food, just say, I want no MSG, people. No MSG, killer. Pesticides. Do you know, I can talk about so many things. I've done so much research, but do you know that an apple, you know how long an apple gets to your door? From the time it's picked, from the time it gets to the supermarket? It takes 11 weeks, people. How do they keep them? They gas them. Pesticides, and they get to be red. About 3 years ago, I've always been into health. I opened the bottom part of my refrigerator, and there was an apple that was shiny. It was been there for almost 6 months. It was still shiny, okay? But I paid attention to that, I pay attention. You gotta pay attention. Think outside the box. Don't wait for a doctor to tell you. I'm not bashing doctors. Doctors are good. I went to the doctor a month ago. I went to him 2 weeks ago to get my blood profile. But when I walk in, my doctor is, I'm a nightmare to him. Because I want to know why. I want to know why you're changing my medication. Why are you increasing my lipids? I asked him, he said, because the cholesterol is this. I said, but I didn't want to belittle him. I have respect. I was raised that way. Right? And we were raised that way, right? In the islands. We were raised to respect our elders and respect authority. So I didn't do that. And he wasn't even an MD, he was a nurse practitioner. He was a practicing doctor, people. He doesn't know a whole lot more of what we're talking about. He knows one thing, medicine. He stays in his lane, and he knows how to write prescriptions. Do you know the pharmaceutical company goes to medical schools and pay them before they even get out? Tell them what to do and how to do. They pay for their classes, they pay for courses for them, they pay for continuing education. And what did they do? They give him free stuff, free stuff. My doctor in Atlanta, he had became very good friends. He was an older doctor. And we talked a lot because he knew a friend of mine, my dad, who was a pain medicine, a pain doctor down in the Caribbean. And he always, every time he said, the pharmacies come in, they give him samples. So that's when he was able to give people samples to try a drug. And then you get hooked on it for whatever reason. But the pharmaceutical industry is in the doctor's pockets, all of them, not some of them, all of them. You know, in Russia, microwaves are banned. You can't have no microwaves in Russia because it's just bad for you. I use them still, and that's no excuse. I mean, I don't use it to cooking, but don't cook in the microwave. Your doctor will tell you that. Use it to heat stuff up if you're in a hurry. You know, I mean, this is life goes. I'm not saying don't be perfect. Nobody's perfect. I use microwaves, but I don't cook in it. Don't cook eggs in it. Just cook it to heat up a sandwich. If you got some frozen food you have, heat it up, but don't cook in it, people. Your doctor will tell you those things. A couple of the toxins which are bad for you are white flour, table salt. You know what table salt is? All chemical. Use sea salt. Sea salt. Sea salt. Okay? Not table salt. Do some research for yourself sometimes. Just Google things, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So, I'm going to end my speech right now, and I want to make a profound difference to you. Your health is your responsibility. Recognize the fact that you have one body, you have one life. You're not the property of the FDA or Big Pharma. You are not the property, you are the property of your own self. You have one life to live. Live today, the present, the moment. Be in the moment. Take charge. Assume responsibility for yourself, for your life. Total responsibility. Make your own decisions. Make the doctor your partner. Not your friend, your partner. And most of all, look out for yourself. It's only the beginning. Mr. Postmaster.
Thank you.